can we do in our Akashic records, whether it's for ourselves or for other people? And I'm going to be reading from my notes here because it's a lot of things and it'll help me remember. So first we have resolving trauma. That can be in this incarnation or other ones as well. It can be for yourself, other people. This can look like people pleasing, masking, SA. It can look like different forms of abuse, neglect. It can be manipulation, gaslighting that you have experienced, just anything that has caused you emotional distress while at the same time changing the way that you show up in your reality, either how you see yourself or how you interact with other people. These are all things that are creating a negative impact in your life. The Akashic records is really helping you come in as that motherly or fatherly type of energy, a friend, a guide, a mentor, a coach. It's allowing you to step into that role for yourself or for other people. That way you're not so emotionally attached, which is great to feel your emotions. But we also need to look at things objectively sometimes, so that way we can work through those processes on a more expansive level. It can help with navigating through transitions in life. This can look like getting a divorce, moving across the country, a career change, becoming a parent, graduating college, or maybe we have experienced someone passing in our life, whether that's a person or a pet, you moving into a new financial bracket or starting your own business. They can help you understand your dreams, do interpretations, if you will, and the signs and synchronicities that the universe, your spirit team, higher self are sending to you. It will help you uncover new talents and gifts that you may have not been privy to beforehand. When I give readings to people, I will tell them like, hey, did you know that you have this ability or this personality trait? And they're like, no. I'm like, that's because you can't see things yourself sometimes. We are our own worst critic often, and it takes another person outside of yourself to say, hey, did you know you're really good at this thing? Like, you have exceptional behavioral pattern recognition, or you're really good at accountability or sovereignty, or wow, you're so compassionate. You are an effective leader, you're a great communicator. And that applies to spiritual gifts as well. There's times where I tell people, oh, you're a really good astral traveler, and they're like, oh, that's what I was doing. Yeah. It takes somebody seeing from that outside perspective often, and again with the Akashic records, you can do that with self. Your higher self will be like, hey, did you know that you're good at XYZ, or that you have all of these spiritual gifts that have yet to be unlocked within yourself. The records can help you clear fears. Now, fears is a really big umbrella. This can be emotional fears, it can be anxiety, catastrophizing, it can be lack mentality, it can be physical fears as well. If you're afraid of spiders or snakes or wasps, it can also be the fear of success or the fear of failure, the fear of looking like a fool. The fear of making content, like if you want to be a social media person, or the fear of showing up in your business and expressing your gifts and talents, the fear of promoting yourself, or being a silly goose in public. They can also help you find your soul tribe members. If you want new people in your life, okay, that resonate on your higher frequency and vibration, same wavelength, they just get you. I always suggest to people to go on Google or ChatGPT, look up a list of personality traits and attributes, get out a sheet of paper, write down all of the ones that you want in your relationship to other people, whether that is a romantic partnership or soul tribe members. What this does is it rewires your subconscious to look for those people, because sometimes we're looking at red flags if we haven't cleared those out yet. So this is you setting a new bar of expectation in your life, and it's a list that you can refer back to energetically. You don't always have to have the list, in your hands when you're talking to somebody, but if you can prime and prep your subconscious of this is what I'm looking for, it makes this process a lot easier. But when you are conversating with other people, you'll be able to see whether or not they carry these attributes within themselves. And then you can determine, do I want this person in my life? Do I want them in my inner circle? How much time and energy do I want to be investing into this relationship? Now, conversely, when you look over this list, this is a beautiful opportunity for you to ask yourself, am I being this person? Because we can only pull in what we are a vibrational frequency match for. So if you are very low on the scale of communication, we have a very difficult time with that. We're very defensive or reactive. Well, you're going to have a very difficult time pulling somebody in that's a good communicator. And so that is a good exercise to figure out where we can grow and evolve in our life so that we can have relationships that are reflective of that version of self. Now, when we look at those lists, we don't need to start berating ourselves and say like, oh, well, I'm not good enough for my soul tribe members. Everybody in the world, in the cosmos, can continuously work on things. Like, you can always be a better communicator, you can always have more empathy, you can always have more accountability, you can always be a more effective leader, but it will show you where maybe we have not been focusing enough in certain areas. And if there's a huge deficit, well, then we do need to place focus there, so that way when we are looking for romantic partnerships or soul tribe members, we will pull that in within another person because we are working on that within ourselves. Then you can use the Akashic Records to do a little deep diving into those areas of, why am I having issues here? Why is this a challenge for me? And maybe it's not something that is your fault necessarily, because oftentimes light workers and empaths are not given the tools and resources that they need when they're younger. We're not taught these things as a society, or maybe you grew up in some social or religious or cultural programming. So let's not go wild with, oh my gosh, I'm a deficient and all these different things. It's just how life transpired. Okay? This is an exercise to help you see where we can put more energy and attention and grow as an overall being, and then have different experiences reflected in our outer reality and pull better things into our life, like relationships, whether that's romantic partnerships or soul tribe member friendships. They can also help with life lessons. And I'm going to give a couple of examples. Missing an appointment, like a doctor appointment, your tire popping on the way to work, not being accepted into the college you wanted to get into or the job you had applied for, a flight being delayed, unexpected help from a stranger, one of your electronic devices malfunctioning. That happens to me on Zoom all the time. Running into someone that you haven't seen in forever, or getting a text or a phone call from them, weather disrupting your plans. I lost my driver's license the other day, and I was planning on going to this event. There was like a 2-day like weekend thing, and I was like, dang, why would that happen? I was so excited about this, but it turns out there were some other things that occurred that I needed to take care of, and that was the universe aligning things so that I received a more beneficial outcome in my life than maybe there would have been otherwise. And I'm getting a new driver's license in the mail. But there are certain things that happen along our path that sometimes we don't always have a initial explanation for. But going into your Akashic Records and speaking with your team members and just looking at your soul map from a higher level perspective sometimes can give you those answers that you're seeking. The records can help you connect with your past lives. As I've said before, I like to call them different incarnations because time is not linear. And so when you let go of that constructual concept, it's easier for you to connect with them, because there's concurrently running timelines, there are future timelines, past timelines, but it really doesn't matter. When you let go of that, it's so much easier to timeline jump into them. So they can help you with healing things that have happened in other incarnations, which also include your inner children. They're a different timeline version of you. Technically, they're past lives. Okay? They can help you heal things. You can learn lessons and advice and guidance from them, or you can kind of shift and navigate the soul map that you have right now, depending on if you want to talk to future you in this incarnation. You can ask mentors to come forward to teach you about different spiritual gifts or esoteric knowledge and wisdom. There's a lot of different applications when it comes to accessing different timelines of self. You can clear generational and ancestral trauma. These are things that have been passed down through your DNA. And I was explaining to somebody the other day that, let's say that you have a mom and then you have a 13-year-old daughter. Okay, oftentimes we're thinking that DNA and ancestral trauma needs to be cleared out before a child is born because it's still in its mother's womb and you have more, what's the word I'm looking for, influence on their physical makeup when they're still within you. However, that's not exactly how the quantum field works and energetic cords. If this mother over here does this very deep clear out, it is naturally going to have effects on the daughter over here. But not just a mother-daughter relationship. That spans across multitudes of familial lineages and connections that one can have. Now, obviously, people have their own soul contracts and their own experiences that they're meant to have, and so everyone has free will and autonomy, and some people choose not to accept that healing. But for the most part, people want to grow and evolve. So you working on yourself has a lot more effect on others than maybe you are perceiving right now. But oftentimes we need somebody to say that to us in order for our perceptual awareness to open up of, oh wow, I can shift the people who I love very deeply in my life and their DNA lines through me doing my own work. Obviously, from a psychology standpoint, when you heal yourself, you are going to be able to speak differently with another person and communicate on a different wavelength. That is going to have effects on a psychology level. Now, let's say that your family for a very long time has been afraid of snakes because something happened way far back and then that got encoded into your DNA. You working through that in this incarnation will help your familial lineages with loosening that up within your DNA sequencing, not only yours but theirs as well, and generations to come afterwards. Cool thing too is you are actually helping these past versions of you and your family back in your ancestral lineages do healing in their time and space as well. The records can help with karmic rollover lessons. This is something that you have been experiencing in a multitude of incarnations, maybe people pleasing, masking, savior complex, martyr complex, financial issues, whatever that is. Sometimes that's because you didn't learn the lesson in your incarnation, or you have wanted to learn the lesson through multitudes of experiences of self. Lots of different perspectives so that you can understand on a deep level to help other people. If you are an energy healer or a practitioner, coach, that's probably you of, yeah, I need to see this through a lot of different lenses so I can help a lot of different people. But even if it's not for other people, if you want to grow and evolve as a very expansive soul, then it would make sense that you would want to learn that on a multitude of levels so that you can expand yourself. The records can also help you understand your energetic templates with your human in this incarnation if you are experiencing autism, or I don't know why I said autism. ADHD, bipolar disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder. There's lots of different areas in mental health that if you go in to ask your higher self or your team members about, or your inner children, or even different incarnations, they can give you more tools and resources and understandings of why you have chosen to incarnate with those templates. The records can help you with emotional wounds. This might look like father wounds, mother wounds, sibling wounds. It can be forgiveness, issues with anger, or deep bouts of sadness. Maybe we swing really far from one side of the emotional spectrum to the other. Help with guidance on relationships. why you have been in certain ones, why you're still in certain ones, pulling in ones for the future. This isn't always just romantic. It can be why you have the same coworkers in every single job, or the same boss in every single job, just in different versions of themselves. It can be your friends, your soul tribe members, your romantic partnerships, relationship with your kids, anybody that is a person that you have connection with. And it can be connections to other things as well, pets, trees, anything with consciousness. And technically everything has consciousness, like the phone that I'm talking into right now. But things that are able to more visually communicate with you on a human experience level. I mean, technically my phone can too. You can talk to Siri. They can help you figure out a new career path, how to attract clients in your business. You can go in there in your records and call in your soul aligned clients, or get a better depiction of what that client avatar looks like, or what are the best ways to market in your business. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, they all have their own collective Akashic records as well. So technically you could go in and open those up within whatever you're doing as far as social media, content creator, business owner, and have the big umbrella of the social media and the project that you're currently working on, and read the Akasha of that to help give you more clarity and direction on how to build within them, because they're all very different from one another. Records can help you heal your health issues. A lot of our health issues are emotions that have not been processed, and then they come forward in the form of physical ailments. Sometimes it has to do with genetics or ancestral or generational trauma or karmic rollover lessons of health related things. They can help you understand soul contracts, which can be karmic relationships, people that you have reincarnated with over multitudes of incarnations. Sometimes that's not always in the same type of relationship. Like your brother might have been your best friend, or could have been a coworker in a different one, or just this random person you met on a Tuesday. It's like a stranger. It is a soul family network that you can have a better understanding of. But soul contracts encompass a lot of other things as well, but it can help you understand those on a deeper level. Soul contracts can also be seen as your soul map, why you decided to have certain experiences, certain life lessons, directions that you've gone in. It can help you understand where you're headed in life as well in the future. Records can help you with manifesting, your creativity, decision making, improving your communication, holding boundaries, and sovereignty, protection of self, and understanding why we've had certain addictions in life. When you get a little bit more expansive in the records as well, you can learn about different planetary systems, stars, technology that we do not have here on Earth. It's very advanced. Different plants and trees and animals from different dimensional spaces. The possibilities are infinite.